All right, my friends, today we're talking about burnout, mommy burnout, and the first steps you can take to reverse it. Hey there, Mama. This is True Presence, the podcast where Catholic moms like you and me learn to be embodied souls. St. Catherine of Siena said, "Be who you were meant to be, and you will set the world on fire." In the midst of hurry, worry, and social media, we're doing a 180 and focusing on real presence, communion, connection, natural living, and bringing eternity into our hearts and homes. I'm your host, Kelsey, and I'm so glad you're here. Hey friends, I was so excited to see how many of you have already been signing up for the special Lenten podcast. I've already got an episode up in there for you for preparing. If you're interested in doing this, there's a sign up below. You can get it. It's a special podcast for any moms who are giving up social media for Lent. And the whole idea of this is that you will get the support you need without having to open your internet browser or be in a Facebook group, which would be completely counterproductive. So the goal is to practice the principles of how to be really, truly present with our families. And if you're interested in that podcast, sign up below. Hello, my friends. Today I wanted to talk about burnout. Mommy burnout. This is an epidemic. And let's start a little bit by just talking about what mommy burnout is. I think, most people have experienced this on some level, but it can be something that we let go unrecognized for a long time, and we just think we're stressed. There's a big difference between stress and burnout. And stress is a much lighter pressure on us, but burnout, let's talk about the signs of it and what you might be experiencing that you are in burnout. And we'll talk a little bit about what to do about burnout, because it's something that isn't fixed as quickly as stress. Stress is something that you can do one or two things and lift that. But burnout is something that takes not just some remedial healing, but also a major lifestyle change to overcome and keep it away. So what are the signs of burnout? The first one might be brain fog. When we're burned out, we have a hard time making decisions. We have a hard time thinking through things. We become forgetful. We have difficulty concentrating. We have difficulty thinking about what we want, even like knowing ourselves. If someone asks you, "Where do you want to eat?" and you're burned out, you might have no idea. It might be that you've been working so hard and making so many decisions that you can't make one more. Another symptom is anger and irritability. You find that everything just feels like too much. Your body and your brain start to feel like you're under assault, and even little small innocent things can start to feel personal. And that's just your body and your brain saying, "This is too much. I'm doing too much. I've taken on too much. And I can't handle more. I need to send out these pokey barbs to keep this attack away from me so that no one asks me to do or think about anything else." So that comes out in anger. That comes out in these like hedgehog prickles that we put around ourselves. What else? If you have an autoimmune disease, your body might start to tell you that you're burned out with a flare-up or a bowel disease flare-up. Our bodies are so affected by our mental state. It uses so much energy to make decisions. It uses so much energy to take care of people. If we go into a deficit on our energy because we've been expending it too long without refueling, sickness, lowered immunity, autoimmune flare-ups happen all the time. So if your body is saying you've done too much, pay attention. Notice that. What else for burnout? Chronic fatigue. If you are waking up feeling like you didn't sleep, if by the mid-afternoon you are crashing and needing a nap, and this has been going on for more than a day or two, you might be deeply burned out. Let's say you're finding it difficult to set goals or feel motivated. Sometimes when we're burned out, we just don't have the energy for that. We can barely put one foot in front of each other, much less look far down the road and see where we want to go. We might even be so out of touch with ourselves that we don't even know anymore what kind of a vision we want to set. All we can think about is the next meal, the next moment. Are any of these resonating with you? Now, how do you know that it's not just stress? How do you know that it's actual burnout? Because obviously we have days where we're tired, right? The baby didn't sleep through the night, so it's hard to wake up the next morning. We might need a nap. How is that different? How is that not burnout? Well, I think a lot of it is going to come down to the duration of this and also what it's going to take to help you recover. Is that nap going to turn things around? Would going out with some friends and having a nice afternoon break this cycle? If the answer is yes, if something that's less than a few hours could solve it, this is stress. If you could take a walk and come back feeling better, then it's stress. But let's say you would wake up from that nap and you would still feel like you had the brain fog. You still feel like you can't make decisions about the future. Then it's something more than stress. See, we're not machines. We moms. We can't just keep going all the time. And we need to ask ourselves, how long have I felt this way? Has it been a few weeks? A few days? Has it been longer? Has it been more than 3 months? More than 6 months? Now, obviously, there are seasons in life where this sort of thing is predictable, like when we have a newborn or the death of a loved one. We might have a 3-month period where we feel really burned out, and a lot of that is the big transition, the extreme workload, the emotional load of these big events. These ones have obvious explanations. But what if it doesn't? What if we have a baby who's, a year old and is just a normal baby, and we're still feeling this way, and we've been feeling this way since they were born? That means we are actually stuck in a stress cycle. We are not a stress cycle. We are stuck in a burnout cycle. We need to actually take a look at our lives and figure out, how can we break this cycle? How can we break out of the emergency mode? How can we turn this around into something that's more sustainable? Because we can't keep going in that same way for too long, or it actually causes our health to decline, and it makes us less of the mom that we want to be for our kids, that we want to be for a spouse, that we want to be for our spouse. Mama, you work so hard and you do so much. But if this is resonating with you, if you are recognizing right now that you are caught in a cycle of burnout, I want to invite you to take a look at a few of the basic things in your life, because this is where you actually hit a point where you need to start to triage. You need to say, are my basic needs being met, and how can I meet them? And I'm talking about the really basic ones. Just to start. We'll talk about, we have higher level needs too, but start by just looking at those first ones, like sleep. Are you getting sleep? If you're not getting sleep, how can you get sleep? Now, if you've got a baby, go back a few episodes in this podcast. We have an episode with Andrea de la Torre. She was a sleep consultant for babies. Listen to that, because she is just full of good advice. Okay, so sleep. What about food? Are you nourished or are you depleted? What can you do about that? How can you make sure that you're getting the nutrients your body needs? And you need a system. You need a system to make sure you're not always getting takeout and things that are not going to nourish you. They're just going to give you a quick burst of energy, but over time deplete you. Because when we eat like crap for a really long time, then we start to have major nutrient deficiencies. And that leads to a deep exhaustion in our lives. What about water? Are you living on coffee? Or are you hydrating? Like sometimes this can just be one of the quickest fixes, especially if you need like some minerals. You might just need an electrolyte drink instead of that coffee for your afternoon pick-me-up. It might be 10,000 times better. And we're going to do an episode soon about alternatives to coffee for getting energy from drinks, because I think caffeine is one of those things where when you're a new mom, you so often turn to it and you can get up to like, 5-6 cups a day and you're still tired. You wonder why. But that's for another episode. What are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are you getting enough to drink? These are just basic things for caring for our bodies when we're triaging. Look at your body. You matter. You have every right to take care of your health. What about exercise? Are you moving your body? Are you getting sunlight? Could you add a morning walk in to your day to get a little bit of morning sunshine so that you set your circadian rhythm nicely and sleep better at night? So this is the first step of burnout reversal. And I want to invite you to my monthly workshop where we go into this, and we're going to go into not just this first step of taking care of our bodies, but even go deeper than that into the next few steps to really make a deep change in your life that helps to keep burnout at bay. And the link for that is below in the show notes. I want you to sign up if this is something that has resonated with you. And let's get your energy back. Let's get your focus back, your sense of presence with your family, your sense of who you are. So this, taking the first steps to make sure that you're caring for your body, is the first step in burnout reversal. And I want to go into the practical how to get that done, because I know you're busy. I know you work really hard from sunup to sundown. This is just something that moms do. And it might feel like there is no time, no possible way you can fit in caring for yourself in these ways. But I promise you, Mama, it's possible. There are ways. And I'm holding workshops every month to talk about this, to help you get started. I want you to sign up. The sign up is below in the show notes. And let's fix this. Let's see what baby steps you can take in your own life to find this time, to find systems that work for you. Okay, Mama, that's all for this week. All right, my friends, if you've been liking this podcast and you haven't hit that follow button, go ahead and do that. Then you'll see every single episode the day that it comes out, just showing up in your podcast app. And if you really like this podcast, would you do me a favor and leave me a review? And the more information you tell me about the things you like, the better I am able to make episodes like that and get you the guests that are helpful to you. I am so grateful to anyone who's already left a review. Thank you for that. So please go ahead, write a review, hit the follow button, share this with a friend. Let's see if we can find more moms who want to listen and get this out there to them so they can get benefits just like you.